Hey, how's it going? I just got back from the movie theaters. Just got done seeing the brand new Jackass movie, the sixth film in the series, aka Jackass. Best and last. This was a movie. I will say, before I go into this review, I'm going to preface this. This would probably be like maybe my very first Jackass film, which is not a way to do it, not a way to do this series. If the quote best and last in the most recent Jackass film is your first Jackass film, that's not a good sign. And second, like, I think maybe when I was growing up, I either watched the first Jackass or maybe the third Jackass. I want to say the third, but I could be wrong. Again, whichever Jackass it was when I watched when I was a younger kid, I don't remember it. I don't remember which Jackass film I watched. So yeah, let's say the best and the last was probably my first actual viewing of a Jackass movie, which again, like I said, saw the review. Horrible way to do this series, 100%. I completely understand. But yeah, I don't know. I will say this entire time I was watching this movie, like it was like maybe like an hour and a half, I mean like an hour 40, 45 minutes long, close to 2 hour mark, right? It felt like I was watching like a 2 hour, hour and a half long blooper reel. I felt like I was just watching nothing but bloopers, which I mean, I guess that was kind of the point of the Jackass series. When you watch a Jackass movie, it kind of feels like you're just watching silly gags and bloopers and maybe like a really extended long cut of a YouTube prank show or whatever. Granted, Jackass been around way longer before YouTube. They started with MTV. It still is with MTV. But yeah, I mean, way long before YouTube. It was the YouTube before YouTube, aka MTV. But I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna go down the entire crew. If you've seen Jackass, you know who it is, who is in the movie. They don't stunt doubles and all that kind of stuff. It's their own actual selves going through these tortures and pranks and pains and cranks and lanes and all that jazz and stuff. Of course, you got Johnny Knoxville, you got Reman, you got Steve-O, Chris, Poopies, Zach, so on. But I mean, they all come back. There's a couple new ones. I think Jasper Dolphin is a new actor in this one. I may be wrong. I will say, looking up information about the Jackass series, it's nice to see as the series went on and the movies kept on coming out, they slowly but surely did like safety procedures and precautions to make sure that the stunts and pranks that they're doing on each other are actually safe and not go kill them. People say this movie, comparing themselves to Johnny Knoxville and crew, they wouldn't do as much of the shenanigans and stuff that Johnny and crew does and, you know, gets away with. And again, that's props on them because Johnny's 55. I would assume majority of the rest of the crew is around their 50s, maybe 49, maybe also 55, but at 49 to 55, I would assume that's majority of the crew's age. So, I mean, granted, it doesn't matter at any age, props for doing them, props for doing these pranks, but definitely at the age of 49 to 55, congratulations, very much props on doing your own pranks and stunts in a very prank and stunt movie franchise. Now, I would say outside of like maybe seeing the third one when I was younger, my only also other incarnation with Jackass and knowing what Jackass is back in 2022. Now, this is a bit random, but go with me on here. Back in 2022, Jackass and Johnny Knoxville teamed up WWE, and Johnny had a match at WrestleMania 38 with Sami Zayn. Now, going into that WrestleMania 38 match, they had a phenomenal feud. The feud was awesome. Very, very much slapstick comedy and humor in that feud. At one point, Reman and a couple other Jackass folk went through a restaurant table delivered by the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar himself. But yeah, very entertaining, bite-sized slapstick comedy feud for that time, and you know, also funny WrestleMania match. They had like a giant glove and also a rat trap, and it was just really awesome, really fun, very entertaining. But yeah, besides those two instances, maybe watch the third or the first one growing up in that 2022 WrestleMania match. Besides those two instances, I don't really have any recollection and incarnation and just experience watching a Jackass film. Again, that's on me. Sure, watch them. but I didn't. I never watched them. I don't know. It just, like I said, felt like I was watching bloopers. Some people like that. Some people like, I signed up just to watch bloopers and people, you know, put their bodies on them. If that's you, then you do you. That's awesome. I'm happy for you. But again, if you don't know what a Jackass film is, get ready for just an entire blooper reel. I will say, out of the two movies that released this weekend, even though I didn't really care for Jackass over Supergirl, I still think Jackass is the movie to see. I mean, obviously, but I just feel like somehow Jackass might be the better movie, even though it is a 2-hour blooper reel. At least you can see Jackass. At least you can see the movie. You can watch it. Maybe not all you're watching is good quality, entertaining footage. I mean, it'll be entertaining, but might be disgusting at the same time. But again, at least you can see the movie. Unless there was a scene where they turn out all the lights, which happens a couple times, but doesn't happen that often. But again, at least the movie is visible, it's watchable, you can see what's going on. So I would say over Supergirl, Jackass wins in that department, which it wasn't really beating Dirt Brown. Anything could beat ugly, disgusting Dirt freaking Brown. Again, why did Supergirl decide to go with a complete Dirt Brown color palette and motif for their film? I have no clue, but at least you can see Jackass. But yeah, I don't know, discussing with a couple friends, and they did say Jackass is supposed to feel like a blooper, and they agree with a couple other points. They definitely agreed that Jackass would be the better film over Supergirl. But again, I don't know, I think this is on me for not watching other Jackass movies, but I would definitely say this movie would have been way more exciting and better to experience while tipsy. If I was a couple booze in, a little tipsy, maybe a Mai Tai, maybe a cocktail, maybe a margarita, maybe like a seltzer or two. But if I was like a little tipsy, a little boozy, I feel like this movie would have been 10 times enjoyable. I don't know. I don't recommend this sober. Definitely wait for streaming. Definitely watch it while drunk, while it's on streaming. I don't know. My auditorium was very, very not full. I think like besides me, there was like one other guy. This movie does have a post-credit scene, so stay to the end, I guess, if you care. It's really just more bloopers, more montages, more bloopers, and Johnny Knoxville saying goodbye. They did address a couple jokes in this movie, so that's nice. But again, yeah, giant blooper reel of a movie. Until next time, I'm bloopering the fuck out of here.